Number 2. Malaysia-US trade deals under scrutiny.
As you might know, at this week's ASEAN Summit saw the United States and our government sign several bilateral trade agreements. Part of the deal involves us agreeing to provide preferential market access for US products exported here. Now, it's rather imported here. The Prime Minister, Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim, also agreed to refrain from banning or imposing quotas on U.S. critical exports to the U.S. of critical minerals or rare earth. Now, not everyone is happy about this. Pasir Gudang MP Hassan Karim has described it as an act of surrender that undermines the national sovereignty.
He shared that under the agreement, Petronas is required to purchase $3.4 billion worth of liquefied natural gas from the US annually. Opposition member and Perikatan Nasional Sekjen Azmin Ali had also raised similar concerns earlier. Subang MP Wong Chen, chairman of the Parliamentary Special Select Committee on International Relations and International Trade, then said that they will hold a hearing on these concerns. Wong Chen has made it clear, though, that Parliament does not possess the authority to vote on trade agreements, but says it still has a duty to make sure the government is accountable for policy decisions.
Meanwhile, Investment and Trade and Industry Minister Tunku Zafrul Abdul Aziz has defended the deal, insisting that it was the best case scenario negotiated under difficult circumstances. Questions still remain about how negotiations played out and what is at stake for the country. So for this, we reached out to Carmelo Ferlito, CEO of the Centre for Market Education. He first responded to the concerns that these deals compromise our sovereignty.
I understand the remark that has been done about sovereignty, in particular on the fifth article of the agreement, but we have to think about the rationale behind this clause that was inserted in the agreement. And this is because in the occasion of the first trade war, what happened is that countries like Malaysia have been used by China to become, let's say, transformation or relabeling hub so that Chinese products could have reached the United States in an indirect way. And what the United States want to avoid is this to happen again. So I understand the reason behind this clause, and therefore agreeing to this clause for Malaysia is not giving up on sovereignty, but rather trying to make the agreement fair as much as possible.
Carmelo went on to talk about the concessions typically made in trade deals and what would make a trade-off worthwhile.
I think that we should look at the agreements from two ways. One is the possibility for Malaysian products to reach foreign markets, and the other is for foreign products to reach Malaysia in a way that make consumer choice more beneficial for consumers themselves. So in this regard, I think the evaluation needs to be done from a double perspective. In this case, I think the agreement is more a geopolitical agreement rather than purely a trade agreement, and the way in which we should read this agreement is from that perspective rather from the pure trade perspective, because if we focus only on the trade, I think we miss the whole point of what happened in the past few months. At the same time, I maintain a very skeptical attitude toward these agreements and in general toward the world tendency toward protectionism. And I believe that the results of all these complexities in international trade will end up in producing harms for consumers. Hopefully, when these harms will be manifest, will be visible, people will come back to reason and re-embrace free and fair trade.
That was Carmelo Ferlito, CEO of the Centre for Market Education. If you have thoughts on the story, you know the drill. You can call 7733 2900. You can also send us a voice note or WhatsApp at 018-789-8899. This is Top 5 at 5, and keep it here then for story number 1 coming your way after the 5:30 news. This is BFM 89.9.